people need to put some respect on Hooponopono, and the respect is void because they are missing one, two, or all three of those principles, taking the full responsibility. People want to take 80%. You can't take 80%. Everything outside of you is you. That's a tough cookie to swallow. COVID, that's you. World Economic Forum, that's you. We are not separate from the larger ideas that are happening planetarily with the collective consciousness of humanity, nor are we separate from the isolated experiences within our individual experience. When we get that, that's the opportunity for us to step into our power. In Lakesh and Veritas, with honor, respect, and gratitude, I'm Tarvars of the Sun, the energy hygienist, and we are talking about Energy Hygiene 101, how to reclaim our power through the process of living an energy hygiene lifestyle. And if you're looking for more tools like this, you can click that subscribe button, hit the bell. That way you stay in the loop of expansive tools that you can add to your spiritual utility belt to step more into your divinity. So I hope you got your snorkeling gear, because we're going to dive deep this evening, speaking about a practice and a tool that is foundational within the Of The Sun clientele, something that we give to all of our clients at various levels and degrees of their spiritual development. It's something that I learned early on that I have found highly effective. I've taught multiple workshops to children, to adults, even to business establishments, to keep their employees in a space where they manage their emotions and stay in control of their experience. And that practice that I'm talking about is the mental cleansing tool called Hooponopono, otherwise known within Of The Sun as whole responsibility. So Hooponopono, this is a mental cleansing tool, a power-packed affirmation of transformation of the mental and emotional debris that is arising from within us. So one of the first things that we must understand is that this simple yet profound practice comes from the island of Hawaii. The ancient kahunas or shamans in that region, they utilize this tool to reconcile issues internally and externally that we were experiencing. And this practice has developed over the years, but in its day and age, it is a very simple 4-phrase power-packed transformative affirmation that can be used to clean and clear mental and emotional blocks. It is the 4 phrases of I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. And together, the combination of the 4 frequencies of reconciliation, gratitude, love, and forgiveness has enough power combined to catapult us out of our lower vibrational state of thought and emotion into our divinity. And this can be utilized when we feel fear, when we're taken off the rails from our anxiety, or feeling some levels of frustration where we need to kind of reel it in, pull back our power. And the beauty of this practice is it can be used real time. There are 3 major keys where you can get this simple yet profoundly powerful practice to maximize the benefits that you see in your reality and taking back your power. And that is 1, recognizing that you're 100% responsible for everything within your experience. That's why we call it whole responsibility here at Of The Sun, because everything outside of you is you. You know, Lao Tzu of the Sun, she has a very funny phrase that I love, but it's anchored in the truth. Who is the common denominator in every experience? Who is at the scene of the crime when we feel the pain and the anger or the fear? Who is there? It's always us. We carry ourselves everywhere we go. We experience exactly what we are, nothing more, nothing less. So the ultimate truth is that our reality is a reflection of us. It's important that we do not drop into victim mode where we give our responsibility to another, or we back out of the truth of what we're experiencing, which goes into the second idea, which is the problem that we see with others outside of us is really the problem that we have internally. Let that land. The problem that we have with what's outside of us is really the problem that we have internally. So recognize that the person who is rubbing you the wrong way, The person outside of you that's saying things that's triggering these feelings of guilt. Who is feeling the guilt? So the reality is that what we feel, what we experience, our reaction to what's outside of us is us. And this understanding is so imperative to have, because oftentimes we want to point the finger, we want to blame the other. You made me feel this way. Why did you do this to me or make me feel? You made me angry. No one made you anything. However, they did trigger you. And that's the key, to understand that it's a trigger within yourself from your holographic other self. And then 3, we are reliving past memories. So what we mean by that is that a lot of what we experience in this moment, it didn't start here. As a matter of fact, it didn't even start in past lives, maybe a couple past lives before, and we're just rehashing and recycling the experience and haven't quite gotten over it. One of the classic scenarios that we have are relationships. So let's say you're in a toxic relationship, it ends, and then you break up, you separate from the person, you get with another person, someone new, and however, it's a new packaging, but the contents inside is the same exact thing. And you find yourself in a relationship basically with the same person who you just broke up with, so you break up with them. Thinking like, what's wrong with these men? What's wrong with these women? You get in another relationship, and the next thing you know, you're experiencing the same exact thing again. You're actually experiencing yourself, because the truth is we carry ourselves everywhere we go. And unless we are actively changing, actively addressing the unconscious aspects and subconscious aspects of ourselves that is broadcasting and pulling to us these experiences and responsible for triggering our reactions, we're going to repeat the same thing. It's going to be Groundhog Day, 24/7, 365. So these 3 principles or understandings are key to getting this simple practice to work for you. One of the things you got to understand is that there are people who have heard of this practice and they're like, I've heard of it, I've tried it, and they don't really give it the respect. People need to put some respect on Hooponopono, and the respect is void because they are missing 1, 2, or all 3 of those principles, taking the full responsibility. People want to take 80%. You can't take 80%. Everything outside of you is you. That's a tough cookie to swallow. COVID, that's you. World Economic Forum, that's you. We are not separate from the larger ideas that are happening planetarily with the collective consciousness of humanity, nor are we separate from the isolated experiences within our individual experience. When we get that, that's the opportunity for us to step into our power. So all 3 of these keys amplify this practice to become a profound tool of transformation. So the 4 phrases, who are you directing this to? Where are we directing this to? What's happening? One of the most important things to understand is that you're not saying this to anyone else outside of you. You're not saying this to the person who made you upset. You're not saying this to the person who rubbed you the wrong way, the person who cut you off on the road. You're saying this to yourself. Matter of fact, you're saying this to the inner self, the inner child, the pure divine aspect of ourselves that through our moments of vulnerability, through our moments of not operating correctly, we've allowed this type of negative accumulation and debris to overlay us, to program us to where we're just on this automatic rehashing, reprogramming. So this tool is directed towards self. This is again leaning into one of those keys where we're taking 100% responsibility, and then of course most importantly recognizing that what's outside of us is actually inside of us. This is anchored within the principle of oneness. Life, all that is outside of us is a holographic reflection of us, nothing more, nothing less. And in order to see something different, we must change what's inside of us. We must change how we think, how we respond, how we react to life. What are we broadcasting and projecting? So when we use this tool, we are directing this at self. That's where the ultimate transformation comes from. So there are 2 ways that you can utilize this tool. One is offensively, one is defensively. Usually, people are using this defensively, meaning when they feel the anger or they're triggered by something or they feel the anxiety from outside of them, from the experience, they end up dropping into the tool, right? You feel the fear rising up in you, and then you can begin to repeat this to yourself. I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. And what begins to happen is we are no longer focused on fear. We are no longer focused on anxiety, because that's the thing. Where your thought energy is directed, you give the thing power. So this process is a redirecting of your thought energy so you can pop yourself out of the funk. So think about frequency, right? Frequency, even though things aren't linear, they are more so of a spherical thing or circular, but because we're still experiencing a third dimensional reality, let's think of a linear context here. So things like fear, anxiety, hatred, depression, apathy, they're very low on the tier or the ladder of frequency. But as you start elevating yourself up into things like courage, neutrality, acceptance, reasoning, joy, love, these type of frequencies, your levels above that, and it's hard. I mean, it is impossible to be here and to be here at the same time. Now you can do this, but you can't be in both at the same time. So what this does is redirects your attention and your energy, your focus, into something that is much more pristine and elevated, which it, of course, elevates your consciousness, therefore influencing your emotions, therefore influencing your complete state of being. And what this does is in those moments when we feel the fear, we feel the anxiety, it brings us above it where we can choose to take an action that is not influenced by the fear, not influenced by the anxiety or the frustration that we feel from the trigger of the outside world. Offensively, this is where we want to be. This is where we can really see the most massive impact on our reality and as far as taking back and reclaiming our power. So when we're doing it offensively, we're doing it just to do it. We're doing it to broadcast in our minds. The beautiful thing about Hooponopono is that you don't have to stop, drop, and meditate to do this. You can do this while you're driving, while you're getting ready for work, while you're making a meal. There's so many different ways you can incorporate this tool into your experience. It's just a matter of keeping your focus on it, right? So this practice, we can ebb and flow between the offensive, where we're reprogramming our minds, we're reprogramming that monkey mind chatter, and in those moments where we have those difficult, rough experiences that kick up of fear, etc., we can use it defensively to take back our power. Now, one of the important factors about this is that when you're saying this, the goal is to become these frequencies, because oftentimes we are lacking frequencies within our overall frequency bandwidth. So what this tool will do is, over time, through the regular visitation of catapulting, raising yourself up in this elevation, raising yourself up in these frequencies, reprogramming the mind through the affirmative statements throughout your day, you begin to reprogram your mind, you begin to input and program your field, your morphic field, where you become the gratitude, you become the love, you become the forgiveness, you become the reconciliation, where it's already part of you, where you don't have to scramble for it when something happens. It's already there. That's the beauty of this practice. But in order to get there, it requires a little bit of effort. It requires some diligence. So one of the things we recommend to our clients is 1 hour of this a day. Sprinkle it throughout. One of the most advantageous ways to use this as well is to start your day off with about 5 to 10 minutes of it. This is where we want to stop, drop, and meditate. This is for those who are really looking to gain the maximum impact from their Hooponopono whole responsibility practice, is to use this as a rising practice tool at the start of the day when the mind is the most impressionable. We're still in theta state, just kind of getting out of that sleep. We're kind of half awake, half sleep. Affirm this to yourself, program, build this up. One of the beautiful things about setting your day with this is that this is going to ripple and reverberate throughout the course of your day, where You already have the forgiveness to forgive and let go of what you confront that kind of rubs you the wrong way. You have the love for yourself and for what's outside of you. You have the gratitude and the reconciliation that's already in you. And this is something that's advantageous and, again, offensive, not waiting into hits the fan as usual. We are not waiting. We are proactively moving into a space of taking back our power, moving into the command center of our reality. So next time you experience something such as fear, anxiety, some lower vibration emotion that's really rocking your internal role, move yourself into whole responsibility, Hooponopono. I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. Release what is in you, let it go. Pop yourself into a higher frequency so we can choose differently than what we've done before with those rehashed memories. You know what I mean? So if you like this, please make a comment. If you've used Hooponopono, how has this worked for you? What are some of the benefits? If you have questions, drop them in the comment box. Share this with someone who you feel that this may empower. You know, there's a lot of people out there who are struggling to gain a sense of power over their reality. Some of it is partly because we're not accepting the responsibility and not necessarily knowing what we can do to shift this. So everything is frequency. Frequency doesn't lie. These frequencies definitely will elevate you. Also, visit ofthesun.com, our webpage, www.ofthesun.com, and we have a tab on our homepage for energy hygiene practices. We have a plethora of different solutions for taking back your power. So again, I thank you for joining in this transmission. We look forward to seeing you next time, and I leave you in the frequencies of In Lakesh, in Veritas, with honor, respect, and gratitude.